Hello, so today we're going to be talking about pen hacks for one of my favorite pens, the Sarasa Grand. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be using the new Sarasa Grand renewal body, but what I'm saying in this video applies to all of the Sarasa Grand bodies. There's one small exception, which I will make sure and highlight later in the video when I'm talking about that particular hack. But in any case, almost 100% the Sarasa Grand bodies take the exact same shape of refill. So I choose the green black because I absolutely love the green and gold combination. I have done a whole video about the Sarasa Grand renewal body and what's different about it compared to the previous Sarasa Grand vintage body, and so I'll link that here in case anybody wants to deep dive on that particular part of this subject. So the Sarasa Grand renewal comes with a Sarasa Grand vintage ink, and the vintage ink that it comes with matches the body color. So like if you pick green black, you're going to get the green black ink color. You get to choose from a 0.3 refill inside of it or a 0.5. Now, if you choose a 0.5, you get to choose from all of the Sarasa Grand vintage colors. If you choose a 0.3, there's just like a select 5 or so. So you are more limited. However, if you like one of those other colors that comes in the 0.5, you can always get that one and refill with any tip size. So this is something that's probably obvious to a lot of you, but it's still like a frequently asked question. So I know that not everyone knows this, but the actual tip size does not matter when you're doing the fit of your refill for your pen, because this tip is inserted into the refill, not the actual body nose. So this is the length and the thickness of your actual refill barrel, and where the shoulder is. Basically, like the shape and architecture of the refill is what matters, not the actual tip size in terms of if it's going to fit in your pen. So when you're picking something like a nice pen body like this, and you are trying to decide what tip size you want to start with, you're really not sure, you are not going to be married to that tip size for whenever you use your pen. You totally can modify that easily just by picking a different refill tip size. So now that we have that part out of the way, the thing that I want to start with is kind of the more obvious refill kind of like set that you can use in your Sarasa Grand body, and that is anything that is like a Sarasa click top. So I've pulled some different examples just to give you an idea of how varied this gets. So like, for example, if you like those Sarasa clip shiny deco colors, you can absolutely take the inside out and put it in your Sarasa Grand body. So I'm just going to show you for those of you who are like, what? But showing these kind of side by side, you can see how same shape or architecture of the refill. And so it's going to easily fit in here. Now, hopefully you can see there's a spring in there. Sometimes that spring will fall out or fly out. People won't know, and then they'll wonder why their Sarasa Grand is not working properly anymore. And that is the first thing you want to check. Did something happen to your spring? And you also want to make sure when you're refilling your pen that you're not smushing it or getting something stuck in the side of it, or like changing the shape of that spring, because that can also affect it. So you want to be careful about that. But here is that Sarasa Clip Deco Shine, absolutely acting totally normal. Forgot what I was writing in the middle of it, but you get the idea there. So similarly, if you like the Sarasa Clip Marble, this is one I find fun to put in, although it is a discontinued pen. Sarasa Mark On. Some of these are going to have separate refills that you can buy. Some of them you're just going to have to take the inside of your kind of like more expensive pen body that it came in, take it out of there. Sarasa Nano, Sarasa Dry, Sarasa R's. You know, so sky is kind of the limit as in terms of those various Sarasa inks. And then, of course, if you like the Sarasa Vintage ink or the regular Sarasa Clip ink lineup that comes in just like those standard colors, you can just get the refill. You don't have to like actually get the, the whole pen. Although one of the most fun things to do with hacks is just see what you have laying around. Like you probably have things that are going to fit in your pen, like various Sarasa Clip pens that are just kind of like in a drawer somewhere, so you can use those. All right, so the refills that I am showing, it's very important to point out that any of these older bodies are going to be applicable to the refills that I'm talking about in this video. So you do not have to have the new Sarasa Grand Renewal body. I just want to make that super clear to do these hacks. For example, you might have this is from like the very original series, like 10 years ago or something. The previous Sarasa Grand Vintage body, old limited editions like this. These are some of my favorites. These are all going to work. And again, just using this renewal for like my model in my video. All right, so moving on from all these different Sarasa Clip options, some of you might know that you can use the Uniball Signo click top options as well, and there are a lot of them. So let me kind of show you. I'm going to show you both like some bodies and refills because some of you might not recognize the refill, but you might recognize the body because it might be something you like using. So for example, if you like the Uniball one feel, either the regular size or the like short fatty size, these use the same Uniball one refill, so you can absolutely use those. If you like the RT or the RT1, these use the same refill, and it's the same ink that's in the Uniball Signo DX, but the Uniball Signo DX is not the same shape of refill, so you can't use the Uniball Signo DX. You're gonna have to use the Uniball Signo RT, which is also, if you're just buying the refill, it's called the UMR 83. Like here's a blue-black example. Other ones are going to be like your 307s and 207s. So these might be pens that you've picked up even in the US markets. But if it's a Signo click top, I have not found a Signo click top that didn't fit in my Sarasa Grand. So totally worth trying, and I'll kind of show you in a minute what I mean there. So that's a 307. So the most common one I do in this kind of like Uniball realm is all these Uniball 1 that come in these like great limited edition colors. I like using the ink in the Sarasa Grand bodies because the weight of the body, I think, actually makes the ink lay a little bit better. Maybe a little bolder. I especially like it for the lighter colors. So this is like a Uniball 1 limited color that I would just top here in my Sarasa Grand Vintage. And I'll just kind of show you. Works absolutely like a charm. You would not know that it's a hack, you know? So this is just kind of showing you, you don't always have to have the pen to, you know, borrow the hack, because some of them will just, you can just get the refills individually. Now I will link all these refills and pens that I'm talking about in the description box below so that you don't have to go on some crazy hunt trying to figure out what it was that I said. Actually, I'm going to do that one in a bit. Moving on to other refill options that you might have had no idea about would be the energel. So the energel is a very popular ink, especially these energel that now come in the kind of vintagey colors, these like colored black colorways, and the energel N-Free, same thing. These are all going to fit. So if you like that needle tip, or you wanted to try this new olive black, I guess it's not that new anymore, but newish. Or if, you know, if you're left-handed and you love that the energel just is not going to smudge if you drag your hand while you're writing, the energel is such a great option for you to refill in your Sarasa Grand body. So just for anybody who's like, what? I'll show you. So this is the energel. I think it's in, yeah, in the olive black. Absolutely love it. So just another great option for your Sarasa Grand body. And a lot of people have energels, you know, lying around. So try it out. One thing I really like about this energel series is that these really cool new sort of like vintagey black colors come in just the refills also. So you don't have to, you know, buy the whole pen and kind of have that waste of the body if you're wanting to try them out. And also the N-Free, gosh, they come in a lot of great colors. Like this turquoise blue one's really popular. And, you know, so just a great refill option for your Sarasa Grand. Now, moving on to kind of a trickier one, but I'm going to explain it, and I think it will become clear as I'm explaining it. So for years, basically ever since the Sarasa ballsign ID and ID Plus came out, or sorry, it's not Sarasa, ever since the Sakura ballsign ID and ID Plus came out, I have really been enjoying using these in my Sarasa Grand. Now, especially I love the Mysterious Black, which is like a purple black. Such a great ink color. And it also comes in just the refills, so you don't have to have that like waste of buying the whole pen. But here's the thing about this one. It does not fit well in the new renewal bodies. And what I mean by that is you cannot click it properly if you're using the new renewal body. You need to have one of those previous Sarasa Grand bodies, which actually, so you know, I debated about whether or not I should mention this one at all. But most people actually still have one of the older Grand bodies. So still totally relevant and still something I do a lot. So you're going to want to make sure, again, your spring's in there and you're inserting properly through the spring and not smashing it up. So that's a great way to break your Sarasa Grand. But so in these previous Sarasa Grand bodies, you can see it's operating totally normally. So in such a great color, my Sakura ballsign ID in mysterious black. Oh, I love it. I want to write with this the rest of the day. I just love it. But if you try to do it in the renewal, I'm going to show you what happens. So you're going to be able to write with it. However, so you're going to be able to write with it. However, you're not going to be able to click it. So when you're installing it, it's not even worth like really trying to get it to work, because you have to install it so that the tip is out and not retracted. And I feel like it only ends up working at some of the time for me. So I cannot recommend this hack at all for the renewal bodies, only for all the previous other Sarasa Grand bodies, which is so weird. I don't quite understand it. The only thing I can say is if I compare it to a zebra body, you can see that it is like a millimeter or so narrower in the actual like body of the refill. And so I think that is causing it in the new renewal not to work the way it always did in the other Sarasa Grand bodies. So this back. So that's my sort of like nuanced refill in this list that I still decided to include for the reasons I already mentioned. And if any of that was not clear, of course, as always, ask a clarifying question below so that I can help you further. Now, if you are somebody who has wanted to use a ballpoint, more like an oil-based or hybrid ink in your Sarasa Grand body, you're like, hey, you know what, actually I'm not a big gel ink person, then I would like you to know you can totally use like Jetstream clip top refills in there. So let me see. So like here are a couple examples of pens that you might know about that hold that Jetstream body. So this is the, I think this is the Jetstream Light Touch. Let's see. Might be the Jetstream. Oh, SXR7. Yeah. So this is the Jetstream. This is one of the, what were those called? They're like made from plastic from the sea. It's a Jetstream. It's a Jetstream click top in kind of a special recycled plastic body. And then this is a Jetstream Pure Malt, which also takes that Jetstream ink, of course. So I'm just going to show you how these work. In the Jetstream, or in the, I'm just going to show you how these work in the Sarasa Grand Renewal body. So getting a perfect clip out of it. Click. And so, you know, you can put your Jetstream ink in your Sarasa Grand body. All right, so as always, please do let me know if you have any questions, and I would also like to hear if you have a favorite hack for your Sarasa Grand body that was not mentioned in this video, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who would like to hear about those. And as always, have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.